Welcome, ladies and gents, to a fascinating journey through the career of the one and only Takuma Sato, a name that straddles two continents, two distinct racing disciplines, and a whole lot of heart. It all began with a young boy's awe at the raw power and speed of the Formula One beasts at the Suzuka circuit, Japan. Fast forward a few years, and we find that young boy, with passion in his heart and dreams in his eyes, convincing his parents to let him join Honda's newly established school for budding drivers. His determination saw him quickly ascend through the ranks, winning the national karting title and then making his mark in British Formula 3. Now, let's zip to the year 2002, a pivotal moment in Sato's career. He nabbed a seat with the struggling Jordan team in Formula 1, and despite the challenges, he managed an unforgettable fifth-place finish at his home race. Changing tides then saw him move to Honda, where he experienced dizzying highs, such as his first podium finish at the Indianapolis Grand Prix, and stark lows, including disqualification and suspension due to technical infractions. The year 2006 was a bittersweet cocktail for Sato. On one hand, he found himself without a seat in Formula 1, but on the other hand, Honda lent its hand once again, helping to create a new team, Super Aguri, with Sato as its lead driver. This move not only earned him respect in the sport but also led to his first point and a sixth-place finish. However, the global economy's downturn in 2008 led to Super Aguri's withdrawal from Formula 1, a heart-wrenching moment for our hero. What does one do when one door closes? Well, you find another, and that's precisely what Sato did. He ventured into the IndyCar series, marking a new chapter in his life. His dedication and skill paid off, eventually leading him to victories at the prestigious Indy 500 in 2017 and 2020. As we look back on Sato's Formula 1 career, there's a tinge of unfinished business, a scent of regret. But there's also a wealth of experiences, a treasure trove of memories, and a grateful appreciation for the journey. His story, from a wide-eyed fan in the grandstands to a celebrated driver on the circuit, is nothing short of epic, a testament to his unwavering passion, determination, and talent. Buckle up, folks, as we delve deeper into this riveting saga. Well, after that thrilling introduction to today's topic, it's only right we introduce ourselves, isn't it? Hi there, I'm George Watson, and I'm usually the one entertaining you with my chatter on this brilliant F1 Motor Fever podcast channel. I'm temporarily taking the reins from Enzo, who usually presides over our daily episodes.
And I'm William Turner, your trusty commentator, ready with analysis and insights to keep you engaged and informed.
Exactly. And did you know, every Thursday morning, we switch gears a bit. We bring you special episodes where we dive into epic, historic, and timeless tales from the world of Formula 1. Stories that have shaped the sport, just like today's focus on the indomitable Takuma Sato. And trust me, if you thought we've covered all there is to his story, you're in for a treat.
Absolutely, George. The depth and breadth of Sato's career deserves this deep dive.
Couldn't agree more, William. And listeners, if you're enjoying this journey as much as we are, don't forget to subscribe to the F1 Motor Fever podcast channel. Not only will you never miss an episode, but you can also activate notifications so you'll be the first to know when we drop a new one. Plus, your comments, shares, and likes truly help us keep these engines running.
Indeed, your support means a lot to us and helps ensure we can keep bringing you these fascinating stories.
We chose to explore Sato's career because it's a testament to passion, determination, and talent overcoming adversity. It's a journey that's not just about racing, but also about life. So, are you ready to delve deeper into the Formula 1 universe and uncover more about Sato's epic journey? If the answer is yes, then stick with us. Let's go full throttle. So, our young Sato was captivated by his first live encounter with a Formula 1 race at the Grand Suzuka circuit. It was a life-changing moment for him, as he saw the might and speed of the cars and felt the electrifying atmosphere. You know, it's amazing to think that this was all thanks to a ticket from a friend of his father.
It's certainly one way to get introduced to the sport. And it's interesting to hear that despite getting hooked on Formula 1, Sato didn't immediately get involved in racing.
Yes, that's right. While he was passionate about the sport, Sato didn't have the means to compete himself. His family couldn't quite commit to go-karting, which is often where future Formula 1 stars cut their teeth. Instead, young Sato took to his bicycle, imagining himself in racing scenarios, pushing himself to compete even on two wheels.
So, we're talking about a young lad who's dreaming of racing but only has his trusty bicycle to hand. It's a fascinating contrast to many drivers who start karting at a young age.
Absolutely. He was quite seriously into competitive cycling throughout high school and university, and that was his introduction to racing. And then, when he was approaching his 20s, he saw this opportunity with Honda. They had founded a school to support young drivers.
That must have been quite a game changer for Sato. It certainly corresponds with his transition from 2 wheels to 4 and from cycling to motor racing.
Undoubtedly. It's a testament to his passion and determination that he saw this opportunity and thought, this is just for me. Can you imagine the thrill, the excitement of finally getting that chance to pursue his dreams? Now, I think it's important to note, we're not just waffling on about Sato here. Much of the information we're sharing comes from a very thorough and insightful article by Philip Horton. Now, this was published on the 3rd of October, 2023, on the Formula One's official website.
That's a reputable source, indeed. Horton is known for his in-depth features on drivers and teams. And the official Formula One website is a valuable resource for fans and pundits alike. It's crucial, isn't it, to ensure we're sharing accurate and well-researched information.
Absolutely, it's essential to cross-check facts and source material from reliable places. It helps us to provide our listeners with credible and interesting insights. Now, let's get back to our story. Shall we? So, despite the age restriction at Honda's school, Sato managed to convince his parents to give him a chance. Now imagine how crucial that was. This was essentially his first, last, and only shot at making it into the school.
It's a testament to his determination, isn't it? He really made the most out of that chance.
He truly did. Honda saw potential in Sato, and after 10 months of rigorous training at Suzuka, he won the national karting title in 1997 and bagged a scholarship. That was quite a feat considering his lack of experience.
And he didn't stop there, did he?
Not at all. Sato quickly rose through the ranks. By 2001, he was competing in British Formula 3, a title he would eventually win. And he didn't stop there, he also tasted victory in the Macau Grand Prix and Formula 3 Masters.
Quite impressive for someone who only started racing 5 years prior.
You're right. But things took a turn when he landed a seat at Jordan for the 2002 season. By then, Jordan was on a decline in Formula One's midfield, and the lack of sponsorship money didn't help their case.
Yes, I remember that season. It must have been a challenge for a rookie like Sato.
Indeed it was. The EJ12 car was particularly difficult to handle. It's interesting because Sato recalls the EJ11 as being a very driver-friendly car, but the EJ12, well, that was a different story.
Yes, I recall Giancarlo Fisichella, Sato's teammate, was the first to point out the difficulties with the EJ12.
He was indeed. He thought the car was broken at the shakedown because they were a couple of seconds off the pace compared to the previous year's EJ11. With Fisichella also getting the majority of the testing as the team's more experienced driver, Sato had quite a rough start in Formula One. Sato's rookie season was a mixed bag, wasn't it? He encountered a series of incidents and accidents. Coupled with reliability issues, he managed to finish only 4 of the first 11 races.
That must have been tough. Any standout moments from that turbulent period?
Well, despite the difficulties, he did have a run of 5 straight finishes which gave him a solid foundation heading into his home race. The culmination of the season was the grand event at Suzuka.
Suzuka, a classic track. How did he fare there?
Before we get there, let's talk about his tyre test at Silverstone. It was there that Sato, along with his race engineer James Key, currently leading Alfa Romeo's technical team, went through a significant run plan. That day, Sato got a real understanding of the EJ12 and its tyres. He could even feel when the blistering and graining started, something he had struggled with before.
That's interesting. So that testing experience at Silverstone really helped him understand the car better.
Yes, quite. But moving on, his performance at Suzuka was notable. He was full of confidence heading into the race and the EJ12 worked better as they proceeded through the practice sessions. By the end, Sato described it as a superb car.
I see. But you didn't answer my question about the tyre test.
Sorry about that. Yes, the test did help him understand the car better, but let's press on.
All right then.
During the qualifying session at Suzuka, Alan McNish from Toyota had a nasty accident which led to the session being delayed. That incident gave Sato an unexpected opportunity to delve into the race data and analyze how to improve his performance.
So, the delay worked in his favor.
Indeed, it did. He even managed a quick power nap during the break, which he says cleared his head. Sato then went on to qualify in 7th position, and he was clocked as second fastest through one of the most iconic corners in F1, the 130R.
That's quite an achievement for a rookie in a challenging season. It seems Sato quickly adapted to the demands of Formula One.
That's certainly a fair assessment. And then, in the race itself, he stayed out of trouble. Now, the crowning moment of Sato's debut season was undoubtedly his home race at Suzuka. He managed to secure the 5th position, earning his first ever Formula One points in front of his home crowd.
I can imagine the joy of the Japanese fans. Quite a significant achievement for a rookie.
Indeed. It was a moment etched in the memory of everyone involved. Very special. Now, moving on, Sato transitioned to a test role at Bar Honda in 2003, behind Jenson Button and Jacques Villeneuve.
A change of pace for Sato, then?
Yes, but as fate would have it, Villeneuve's strained relationship with the team presented Sato with an opportunity.
How so?
Sato was called up to replace Villeneuve for a race weekend. Guess where? None other than his home circuit, Suzuka.
That's quite a coincidence. How did he perform?
Better than anyone could have expected. He not only secured a top 6 finish but also helped the team score double points for the first time that year. They even climbed 2 positions in the Constructors' Championship.
That sounds like quite a comeback. So, did he stay with the team?
Yes, he did. And the next year, in 2004, Bar fielded a competitive car, the 006, which lifted the team to 2nd in the championship. Sato even scored his maiden podium at Indianapolis.
Quite the roller coaster of a career. But then, what happened in 2005?
Well, let's just say that the high of the previous year was short-lived. Bar's 007 car proved to be uncompetitive. A technical infringement at Imola led to the team's disqualification and suspension for 2 events. Sato also missed the Malaysian race due to illness and was among the non-starters at Indianapolis due to tyre concerns. So, he only started 5 out of the first 9 races. Now, let's fast forward a bit. 2005 was a tough year for Sato. He scored points only once, in Hungary. Frustration set in and he admits to overdriving and becoming erratic, leading to even more failures. It was, in his own words, big nightmare.
Sounds like a difficult period. Did things improve for him, George?
Well, William Turner, it's interesting you should ask that. You see, after Jenson Button and Rubens Barrichello filled the seats at Honda in 2006, Sato found himself out of a drive. But Honda facilitated the creation of a new team, run by ex-F1 racer Aguri Suzuki, and Sato was its lead driver. The team was called Super Aguri.
Super Aguri. Now, there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yes, indeed. Super Aguri started off with a 4-year-old Arrows A23 car, which was hastily modified for the start of the season. Despite a slow start, they made gains throughout the year and even managed a top 10 finish in Brazil.
What a turn of events, George. It sounds like Sato had a knack for making the best out of difficult situations.
Absolutely, William. The following year, with a car based on Honda's race-winning i106, Super Aguri moved up the grid. Sato scored the team's first point in Spain, and then came the highlight of his stint with Super Aguri, a 6th-place finish in Canada, after overtaking the likes of Kimi Räikkönen in a Ferrari and Fernando Alonso in a McLaren.
That must have been a moment to savor, George.
Yes, Sato still refers to it as an amazing story. However, towards the end of 2007, storm clouds were brewing. The team lost their title sponsor and the worsening global economy further compounded their problems. But, as we know, Sato is no stranger to setbacks. Now, going into 2008 wasn't easy for Super Aguri. They managed to participate in the first 4 events before having to withdraw from Formula One. Sato called it a very sad moment. They had high hopes for 2009 with new regulations coming in, hoping to have a car as competitive as Toro Rosso or even Red Bull.
Actually, if I may correct you, they were hoping to have a competitive car, yes, but they were expecting it to be similar to Red Bull and Toro Rosso because the new regulations allowed for some common components, almost allowing for an identical car.
Ah, you're right. My apologies for the mix-up. Thanks for the correction. As I was saying, Super Aguri had high hopes for 2009. They believed they could endure the difficult year of 2008 and then be competitive the following year.
And what did Sato do when Super Aguri withdrew?
Sato sat out for the remainder of the 2008 season and then tested with Toro Rosso. Unfortunately, he wasn't chosen for a 2009 seat.
And what did he do after that?
Well, when options for 2010 dwindled, he began exploring alternatives. He had to move on, and the Indy 500 was always at the top of his list.
I imagine that was quite a significant change for him.
Yes, indeed. Sato even traveled to Indianapolis to witness the qualifying for the 2009 Indy 500. He was stunned by the sight of cars hurtling towards the apex at nearly 230 miles per hour. The drivers keeping their foot down at such high speeds was surprising, even for a seasoned F1 driver like Sato. Sato found in IndyCar the same exhilaration he experienced when he was just 10 at Suzuka. He committed fully to the series and was a front-runner in the 2012 Indy 500. However, a crash on the final lap after a brave attempt to take the lead denied him the win.
That must have been heartbreaking. Did he get a chance to make up for it?
Absolutely. 5 years later, in 2017, Sato won the Indy 500, fulfilling what he called a mission completed. He repeated this feat in 2020.
Winning the Indy 500 not once, but twice, must have been a dream come true.
Yes, Sato described it as a dream come true and expressed immense gratitude for everyone who supported him. Of his 6 IndyCar victories, these 2 stand out the most. But he also fondly remembers his first win at Long Beach in 2013.
What was special about that win?
The win was particularly sweet because it was for AJ Foyt Racing, a team that hadn't won a road course since 1978. Sato compared their underdog victory to his time with Super Aguri, and the experience truly was amazing.
It sounds like Sato has had a fascinating career, both in Formula One and beyond.
Indeed, his journey from a near beginner in motorsport to 100 F1 races and a podium finish, and on to IndyCar victories, is nothing short of incredible. Looking back at his F1 career, Sato feels really fortunate. He reflects on the difficulty of the sport, and how often drivers think back wishing they could race in the same environment as they had 5 years ago, believing they could have been faster or even won world championships.
That sense of what if is quite common, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Sato admitted that he too has those thoughts. Despite acknowledging some unfinished business in Formula One, particularly the 2004 Indianapolis Grand Prix where he feels they could have won, he cherishes the memories he made in F1.
And it sounds like he's not living in the past.
Absolutely not. He's grateful for what he achieved in F1 and currently enjoys competing in IndyCar in the States. He's still at the top of the competition and wants to say thank you to everyone who has been part of his journey.
A true sportsman, through and through.
Yes, a real testament to his resilience and passion for the sport. Thank you, folks, for tuning into another episode of F1 Motor Fever podcast. We've been deep diving into the incredible journey of Sato, from Formula One to IndyCar and his memorable victories. If you've enjoyed this ride as much as we have, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and spread the word in your circles.
And if you've got any mates who love a good underdog story, make sure to share this episode with them. They'll thank you for it.
Absolutely. And a quick shout out to Enzo, I think you're going to love this episode. Don't forget to drop us a comment and let us know what you think. Your feedback helps us make F1 Motor Fever podcast the best it can be.
We've got plenty more fascinating stories and insights coming up, so keep your eyes peeled and your ears pricked.
We can't wait to have you join us again for the next episode. Thank you for your support, your enthusiasm, and your shared passion for the world of Formula One. As we always say, Blake, pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road, our channel's content is pure gold.